Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I'm going to talk about Saban's Big Bad Beetleborgs and Beetleborgs Metallix. Now, I first started watching Beetleborgs back in September of 1996. I was 10 years old at that time, and I remember it airing on Fox Kids on weekday afternoons. Now, what the show is about, well, you see these three girls, these three kids, two boys and one girl. Well, the boys were Drew and Joel, no, no, Drew and Roland, and the girl was named Josephine, but everybody called her Joe for short. And well, they were dared by these two kids who to go into a this scary mansion called Hillhurst, and eventually they freed this ghost who refers to him as a phantom called Flabber. And well, he was so he's, really thankful for his freedom that he will grant the kids a wish, and the wish become Beetleborgs, which are the superheroes from their favorite comic book, and of course, that's how they got the powers. However, Flabber kind of made a mistake, and well, this have been wrong, which that well, according to him, he wasn't watching the door. So not only did he give the kids the powers, but it also caused the village, known as the Magnivores, to escape as well. Now, yes, and that's how the series starts. Now, about this show, well, how they got the powers is also mentioned a theme song, and see, and the reason which the kids, and the reason the kids which become Beetleborgs was because, well, you see, uh, Drew, Roland, and Joe to hang out at this comic book, which is ran by Roland's father and grandmother. Now, the grandmother, well, everybody calls her Nano, and she's not like that stereotypical grandmother who you would see in old TV shows. She was more like she loves comic books, does karate, and she even rides a motorcycle. And as for Drew and Joe family, well, Drew and Joe, Drew and Joe, they are father and sister. Now, as for oh yes, and the kids who dare them to go into the first mansion, well, their name are Trip and Van, and they're like the broken skull of the series. You know, back when the broken skull was still bullies. Of course, unlike broken skull, they were never shown growing out of their bully phase and becoming better people. But anyway, as for the Beetleborgs, well, Drew became the Blue Hunter, no, the Blue Stinger Beetleborg. Roland became the Green Hunter Beetleborg, and Joe became the Red Striker Beetleborg. And when they're in the Beetleborg forms, then they fight the monsters as well as foot soldiers called scabs. So they were like the buddies of the series. And then, oh yes, they ride these giant vehicles. Of course, unlike the Power Rangers, their vehicles do not combine together to make one giant robot. Now, other characters in this series are the Hillhurst monsters. Yeah, the monsters, and they are parodies of classic Universal monsters. First of all, there's Frankenbeans, who is uh, a parody of Frankenstein's monster, who became famous by the portrayal of Boris Karloff. Then we got Count Bancula, who is a parody of Count Dracula. Palms, who is a parody of the mummy Hypnotep, not the one from the one with Matthew Patrick, or was it somebody else? No, I'm talking about the original mummy series, you know, from the 1930s. And then we get Wolfgang, who's supposed to be a parody of the Wolfman. Of course, his appearance more like an actual wolf-like face, not like a man with a hairy face. And let's see, for the villains, there are the Magnaborgs, and the leader is Vexer, and the three minions are Noxic, Typhus, and Garrus. She's the only female of the three minions, just like how Joe was the only female in Beetleborgs. Oh, another character, there's also a Heather, who wishes to go around Drew and Willow's age, and Drew has a crush on her. And yes, and those are who appear for most of the season one. And characters who would appear on the show at the time to time were, let's see, well, there is Frankenstein's father, known as Dr. Baron von Frankenstein, and he's a parody of Dr. Frankenstein. And let's see, trying to figure who else would appear on the show. Yeah, that's all I can think at the moment. Oh yeah, now remember. Well, before I get to it, well, around the series, well, first thing was an episode where Wolfgang was playing with a magic book, and it caused Joe to change in appearance. This is because the girl who used to play Joe, well, she left the show and they needed a replacement actress. And I Lara did a spell, so yeah, able to see her as the girl they used to looking at like. But well, anyway, oh, I forgot to mention that the Beetleborgs, well, outside their suits, they also have individual uh, powers. You know, something that would happen in Power Rangers during the probably starting with either Ninja Storm or Dino Thunder. But anyway, Drew he has the power of telekinesis, and he would activate it by pointing his two fingers. Maybe it was one, but and playing like this, and things move around his mind. Roland, he had a super speed, which he activates by snapping his fingers like this. And of course, Joe, he has super strength, which you activate by clicking her knuckles like this. Now, another a running gag in Beetleborgs is that well, the monsters will always try to eat the kids, but they always outwit them and defeat them in the process. However, the monsters' attempts have pushed the kids so far that they just couldn't deal with it anymore. So whenever they try to get them, then the kids will just use their powers to beat them up, and eventually got to a point where they warn they will warn the monsters what to do if they ever try to eat them again, and eventually they would run away every time they get a warning. Also, in in season one, well, Dexter created this a new Beetleborg called Shadowborg. And when I first saw it as a kid, I thought it would be like a Green with Evil thing that he would have picked a kid to become the Shadowborg, just like how Rita picked Tommy to become the new Green Ranger. But no, that didn't happen. Something like that didn't happen in Beetleborgs. It was like it was a hollow shell, that a living hollow shell, that would destroy the Beetleborgs on command. But it did lead to another kid becoming a new Beetleborg. His name was Josh, and he became the White Blaster Beetleborg. Of course, this was temporary because, well, once the Shadowborg was destroyed, then Josh lost his Beetleborg powers, and he wasn't seen in the series ever again. Now, Also during that Shadowbrook saga, we get to meet Art Fortune, who was the creator of the Beetleborgs comics, and he introduced them to the Beetle kids introduced Art to Flabber, and it would help them to draw new powers, so they can defeat the Magnaborgs. And then when at the end of the season one, well, yeah, Vexer he found a drawing of a some kind of Triceratops monster, and he brought it to life. And well, the name of the monster was called Lucas. And yes, he found a plan to defeat the Beetleborgs. And also, it's been revealed that Lucas was not created by Art; it was created by his brother Lester, or Les for short. And he, uh, he he was in jail, and Lucas he helped Les escape from jail, and he even found drawings that he found impressive. And if he found one drawing of some kind of praying mantis lady, and he named him Horrible, and it was some kind of blue shark-like creature called Viler, and he also came to life. And also at the end of season one, well, the Manticore, well, Lucas managed to take away the Beetleborgs' powers. However, it also caused the Manticore to go back into the comic book, only in the comic book world, and that was you had the Manticore. However, even though the item Manticore was finally defeated, it was a it was a rise of Lucas' new leadership, and his group is called the Crustaceans. And that's how the first season of Big Bad Beetleborgs ended, with new villains taking over and the Beetleborgs losing the powers. However, came season two, and happened is that the Beetleborgs got Art to give them new powers, like he drew new suits and new vehicles. Oh, I forgot to mention that in Beetleborgs, they have these devices called Beetleborgs, and what they do is they do this like they they say this Beetle Bonders, Beetle Blast, and they turn into Beetleborgs. Now, as for the second season, oh yeah, and so- oh yeah, forgot to mention that the first season, well, when I was a kid, I did like watching Beetleborgs because it reminded me of Power Rangers. I mean, the heroes they have different color costumes, just like the Power Rangers, and they drove giant vehicles. Although they didn't combine just like the swords, and that's something I would have liked. And yeah, that most of it. Now, as for season two, well, yes, art through new pictures, new weapons, and even new transforming devices. And well, the suits are similar. I kind of like the old suits, only this time they're different colors. And well, for Drew, he became gold, Roland became silver, and Joe became purple. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is that in Beetleborgs, all their clothes are the same colors as the Beetleborg outfit. Just like how the Power Rangers were, when they're in civilian form, they were the same colors as their Ranger costumes. And not only that, the Beetleborgs have wooden bikes, which are also uh, the same colors as you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah. So once the Beetleborgs got new powers, they they started to fight the crustaceans, Oh, and the crustaceans also have food solubles called threads. And also the Beetleborgs tiny vehicles, they are like the old vehicles, only once again different colors. All these the colors of their new suits, and of course the big bad Beetleborgs now became Beetleborgs Metallix, and that's how the show changed its name for season two. Now let's see. As for new characters, well, but in season one, Roland's mother, started to run the comic book along Nano because Roland's father was on a business trip. Of course, he wasn't seen again without any explanation. And let's see, a new character, a new Kyohurst monster arrived named Lulu, and well, she has a habit of taking things that don't belong to her, but she calls it collecting, but really it was just stealing. Let's see. Yes, I think that was became part of the regular cast, and let's see. Oh, as for new for transforming devices, well, they're called data bonders, and how they transform it, and how the kids turn into Beetleborgs Metallix. Well, they do they gel out. Oh yes, data bonders, input card, Beetle blast, and they become Beetleborgs Metallix. And then we get new allies along the way. Uh, well, they're called the new allies were Astroborgs. And as for new weapons, well, there was a well, they got two giant robots. I mean, well, first of all, they got the Roborg, who was supposed to be a answer to the Crustaceans robot called Boron, but later got the came under control of the Beetleborgs later in season two. And then oh, another character to arrive. So one time, but it was his name was Karato, and he was actually started from Q-Spion, which I'll get up later in the video. Now, let's see. Yes, the Beetleborgs Metallix use some new powers to fight the crustaceans and the monsters. And then by the time that season ended, well, for one thing, Les decided to quit and went back to jail, and eventually, well, Lucas was running out of monsters to use because it was normally new to draw new ones for him. And of course, eventually the show ended, without any conclusion. Yes, that's it. That's how the series ended. And the show would air reruns of Fox Kids for a while, but then removed. And whenever one day I found reruns of the show on UBM 38. Now, see. Oh yes, after I became an adult, I learned that Pillowworks was a title from two metal heroes. This was when I was still learning about Tokusatsu, and well, Big Bad Beetleborgs was adapted from a Japanese series called You Can Be Fighter, which is pronounced You Can Be Fighter in Japan, and Be Fighter Kabuto, which is pronounced in Japan Be Fighter Kabuto. And yes, and the reason for the series ending was because, well, there wasn't enough Japanese footage, to continue on the series. Just like what happened with Via Troopers and Saban Mass Rider. And only that, but Beetleborgs was the last non-Power Ranger series that Saban made using footage from a Japanese series. However, it wasn't the last live action series Saban will make because, well, he will make New Heroes in Exploitation and, of course, Mystic Knights at Turnock. And unlike Saban did before, they were they didn't use footage from any Japanese show whatsoever. It was this is what I known as Ameritoku, or at least 100% Ameritoku, because there was no stock footage used whatsoever, at least not from a show from another country. And also, they could have adapted the next military series for first season, but it wouldn't look right, and it would have been too apparent because, well, you see, the Metal Hero series that came after before the Kabuto was something called Robot, yeah, Kabutat, and the one that came after was I think was the Robotac, but those two shows didn't do so well, and eventually the Metal Hero franchise ended, and that's why there is no more Metal Hero series, or there was never more seasons of Big of Beetleborgs. Although, even though the Metal Hero series ended, it it did help bring back the Kamen Rider franchise during what is known as the Heisei era, and it's been a couple. So there's been a new Kamen Rider every season since then. So what became the Metal Hero series lost became the Kamen Rider franchise game. As for what I said about Corrado, well, yeah, he was a starter from Metal Hero called Yuskuyan, and it was only for one episode. And also, I learned that the P Fighter team up with another Metal Hero team called Blue SWAT. And yeah, I think that's all I can say about Beetleborgs. And as a kid, I did enjoy it watching it, and it was sad that but I understand why. And if you want to know why they didn't adapt, see why they didn't adapt the series for a first season, well, you can I mean, you could go to look for it on YouTube. The series Robot Deck and Kabudak, and you'll see why Saban made a decision not to adapt the show for another 4 more seasons. So yes, I think that's all I can say about Beetleborgs. And also, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that yeah, as a kid, uh, I always was hoping for a crossover between Beetleborgs and Power Rangers. Although it never happened on TV. However, when me and the customer were kids, we did make our own crossover with Power Rangers and Beetleborgs, but it was just us playing with his action figures. That's it. And of course, and even though there was no live action one made, there was a comic book which is the crossover between Power Rangers Turbo and Beetleborgs Metallix, and also the Pillowworks costumes, with the Shadowborg, Green Hunter, and 3 Astroborgs. Well, they were used in the episode of Power Rangers Wild Force Forever Red, and well, the characters that the suits were used for were supposed to be like the remaining survivors of the Machine Empire. So it shows how cheap Hans Stefan was when making this episode. Like reusing, and also yeah, I heard he's been reusing costs many times before, for cost efficiency. And yeah, I think that's all I can say about Beetleborgs in this video. And also, please subscribe to my channel because it will help me a lot. And also, share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.